book people of the world, let's talk about Isaiah Shade, Gay for Slay, issue number 2. This was written and drawn by Patrick Fillion, and it was published by Class Comics. The main protagonist for this comic book series is Isaiah Shade. It takes place in the 1980s, and unfortunately, he's had a really rough life. His wife, Abby, unfortunately sacrificed her soul and her life in order to save Isaiah, so he's made it his life mission to fight demons and other paranormal beings in order to bring her back. He's joined by one of his buddies, Julio Flores, who's somewhat of a skeezy guy, but still counts as a good guy. And recently, he was also joined up by the tarot demon himself, Demos. This issue starts out with Isaiah teaming up with Demos to investigate an old plantation. Here they're being terrorized by the mystical being known as Sinu. Isaiah has mystical abilities to fight demons. Unfortunately for him, though, Sinu is not exactly a pure demon. Him and Demos find this out in a really horrible way. However, help is on the way by a new character being introduced named Papa Pourquoi. I won't give away any major details and spoilers as to what happens to this demon, but he is not the big bad in this comic. As for Isaiah's overall goal with Abby, we have a bit of closure to that. Papa helps out with that in a really awesome way, and we also get a huge revelation as to his relationship to the both of them. This is a great series, especially if you're a huge fan of the Supernatural TV series. It's similar to that, but way more adult. And I love that we have a bit of a subplot with one of the characters being introduced, where it's probably going to be playing out into a bigger story later. Patrick Fillion is a great writer, but his art style is probably one of my most favorite out of everyone out there. So imagine my excitement to see even more artwork after this story was done in the form of pinup art. Not to mention that we have the black and white version where it hasn't been colored in yet. And of course there's also the silent edition where all the word bubbles have been taken out of each of the panels. Being that this is Class Comics, I do have to say that the content is very adult, so I just want to make sure that everyone is aware about that. I cannot stress how much of an awesome comic book this is, regardless of the fact that it is very adult. The story itself is still really cool. But I'll leave it at that point. Like I said, I don't want to give away any major spoilers to it. It is available on Class Comics website, so if you're interested, you could always purchase it from there. With that, thank you guys for watching me in this video. If you haven't done it yet, check out my Patreon site, patreon.com/gaycomicgeek. You become a patron, you get to see extra pictures, videos, and photo shoots that I only show to patrons. Check it out, I'd really appreciate it. And with that, I'll join you guys in another video very soon. Peace, love, and I'll stand. See you guys later. Oh my god, there really should be like a crossover with this comic book and some sort of parody of the Supernatural Winchester brothers. That would be so incredibly sexy hot.